Canada's announced new travel ban, an overview and impact on foreigners. Welcome to the Travel Tree family. Today, we bring you an in-depth analysis of Canada's recently announced travel ban, a policy that has ignited widespread controversy and international debate. This new restriction targets 10 Asian nations, including major players like China, India, and the Philippines, raising questions about Canada's motives and the potential repercussions on global relations, immigration, and the economy. As one of the most significant and contentious policies in recent Canadian history, this travel ban has sparked a heated discussion. Is it a necessary security measure to protect national interests, or does it represent an unfair and politically motivated move rooted in discrimination? In this video, we will explore the details behind this policy, examining which countries are affected, the reasons cited by the government, and the various perspectives from affected communities and international stakeholders. Stay with us as we unpack the complexities of this controversial decision and its far-reaching implications for travelers, families, and Canada's reputation as a diverse. Ladies and gentlemen, Canada has just dropped a bombshell that's sending shockwaves across the globe. The country announced a new travel ban targeting 10 Asian nations, igniting explosive reactions worldwide. This decision has stirred intense debate. Is it a necessary measure to safeguard national security, or is it a politically motivated move rooted in discrimination? Today, we delve deep into the details, exploring which countries are affected, why this decision was made, and the massive implications it could have on international relations, families, and global travel. Buckle up, because this is one of the most controversial policies Canada has introduced in recent years, and it's crucial to understand both sides of the story. Remember to like, subscribe to Travel Tree, and activate the notification bell for upcoming updates. Now, impact on China. One of the most notable aspects of Canada's new policy is the inclusion of China, Canada's second-largest trading partner. China now finds itself on the banned list, a move that is guaranteed to escalate already tense diplomatic relations. The Canadian government cites concerns over espionage, cyber attacks, and undocumented migration as primary reasons for the ban. However, critics argue that this is a retaliatory measure in response to China's own strict travel policies and its alleged interference in Canadian elections. The ban means no new visas will be issued to Chinese nationals, and even existing visa holders may face additional scrutiny. Business leaders warn that this could lead to significant economic fallout, as Chinese students and investors contribute billions to Canada's economy annually. The question remains, is this a security necessity or a move that could harm Canada's own economic interests? The Indian dilemma. India is the top source country for new Canadian immigrants, with over 118,000 Indians becoming permanent residents in 2022 alone. Now, this pipeline is being severely restricted. The Canadian government claims the ban is due to fraudulent immigration applications and overstayed visas. Yet, the Indian diaspora perceives this as outright discrimination. Tens of thousands of families could be torn apart as students, skilled workers, and tourists are suddenly barred from entering or staying in Canada. Diplomatic tensions are rising, with Indian officials threatening reciprocal bans on Canadian travelers. This could escalate into a full-blown diplomatic crisis. Why has India been included? The government points to issues like fake documents, illegal immigration, and strained diplomatic relations following Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's allegations against India concerning an assassination in Canada. The impact on Indians is profound. Many students face shattered dreams, families are delayed in reunification, and economic contributions from Indian professionals could dwindle. India is likely to retaliate through visa restrictions, trade barriers, and diplomatic protests. Is Canada justified, or is this move motivated by political retaliation? The Filipino workforce and their future. The Philippines ranks among Canada's top sources of temporary workers. Filipino nurses, caregivers, and laborers have been vital in filling labor shortages, especially in healthcare and agriculture. The ban, however, threatens to cut off this vital flow. The Canadian government claims overpopulation concerns and visa fraud as reasons, but Filipino advocacy groups argue that this is a punitive move that punishes hardworking migrants. Many Filipinos have invested in their future, sold property, and taken loans to work in Canada, only to face uncertainty and separation from their families. Remittances from Filipino workers sent back home exceeded $1.5 billion in 2023, making this ban a serious threat to their economies. The Philippines may respond with its own restrictions, targeting Canadian businesses or imposing stricter visa controls. Critics contend that Canada is sacrificing its economic and social stability by blocking a crucial workforce, and many Filipinos feel betrayed by policies that were once portrayed as opportunities. Iran, Sri Lanka, and other affected nations. Canada's broad travel restrictions extend beyond Asia's most populous nations. Iran, for example, faces a near-total travel ban, citing terrorism and espionage threats. Iranian Canadians argue that this is collective punishment, separating families and ending hopes of studying or working in Canada. Similarly, Sri Lanka's economic crisis has driven thousands to seek asylum, but Canada's new policies are closing those pathways. Refugee organizations warn that desperate individuals will turn to dangerous smuggling routes, risking their lives. Countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, Nepal, and North Korea are also impacted, with restrictions announced due to issues like overstays, fraud, or security concerns. Critics believe these bans are often motivated by political agendas rather than genuine security needs, risking damage to Canada's humanitarian reputation. Security or discrimination? Ultimately, the question remains, is Canada's new travel ban a necessary security measure, or is it an overreach that risks alienating its allies and damaging its reputation? Supporters argue that controlling borders, preventing fraud, and managing overpopulation are vital for national security. Critics, however, see these policies as xenophobic and economically short-sighted, targeting countries that send the most immigrants and workers to Canada. The timing also suggests political retaliation rather than genuine safety concerns. As the affected nations prepare responses, whether through diplomatic protests, trade restrictions, or increased illegal migration, the global community watches closely. What's next? If the ban persists, we could see a decline in immigration from these nations, increased illegal migration, and long-term damage to Canada's international standing. The affected communities face uncertain futures, and the country's reputation as an inclusive, diverse nation could be at risk. The debate is ongoing. Is Canada making a tough but necessary choice, or is it abandoning its values of diversity and inclusion? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should Canada restrict travelers to protect security, or does this move threaten the very fabric of its multicultural identity? Remember to like, share, and subscribe for updates on this evolving story, because the world is watching and the stakes are high. An inclusive nation. Recommendations for people who are currently inside Canada or those planning to move to Canada, about the recent travel ban and its implications. Stay informed about policy changes and visa regulations. Regularly monitor updates from the Canadian government and official immigration sources to understand current restrictions, visa policies, and any exemptions related to the travel ban. Being well-informed will help you plan your travel or immigration process accordingly. Seek legal and immigration advice. Consult with qualified immigration lawyers or authorized consultants to navigate the complex and evolving immigration landscape. They can provide personalized guidance, help with documentation, and advise on alternative pathways if certain visas or entry options are restricted. Explore alternative immigration or travel options. Given the restrictions, consider other legal pathways such as provincial nominee programs, work permits, or study visas that might still be available or less affected. Also, look into countries with more open policies as potential temporary or permanent options. Prepare necessary documentation thoroughly. Ensure all your immigration or travel documents are complete, accurate, and up to date. This includes visas, sponsorship papers, proof of employment, or educational enrollment, which can facilitate smoother processing if exceptions or appeals are possible. Stay connected with community and support networks. Join local immigrant and community groups, online forums, or support organizations that can provide assistance, share updates, and offer emotional support during these uncertain times. Networking can also reveal new opportunities and strategies for immigration and settlement. Advocate for fair and inclusive policies. Engage with advocacy groups or participate in dialogues that promote fair treatment and inclusivity in immigration policies. Raising awareness and voicing concerns can contribute to a more balanced approach that considers both security and human rights. These recommendations aim to help individuals navigate the challenges posed by the new travel restrictions while safeguarding their aspirations and well-being in Canada. Canada's new travel ban raises critical questions about balancing national security with the principles of openness and inclusivity. While the government emphasizes concerns over security threats, immigration fraud, and overpopulation, critics argue that these measures may be driven more by political retaliation and discrimination than genuine safety considerations. The ban's impact extends beyond diplomatic tensions, affecting families, economic contributors, and the country's international reputation. As affected nations and communities respond with their own restrictions and protests, the global community watches closely, pondering the future of Canada's immigration policies. Ultimately, whether this move is a necessary step for security or an overreach that risks alienating allies and undermining Canada's values remains a matter of intense debate. The path forward will shape Canada's international relations, its multicultural identity, and the lives of countless individuals hoping for a better future in Canada. We invite you to share your thoughts. Do you believe this policy serves the country's best interests, or does it threaten the core ideals of diversity and inclusion? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Travel Tree for ongoing updates on this evolving story. Thank you for joining us, and safe travels.